board and the staff to think about next steps in this regard. So we really appreciate y'all being here and are grateful. I'm going to actually turn it over to Karen to kind of do some introductions and those kind of things and get started.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us. Or I mean, thank you for having us. Thank you for being here. We have 4 congregations that are very different parts of our globe, different faiths. We have Wayne Smith from Cool Spring Baptist Church, which just had a really interesting deepening of our partnership with us. We have Randy Hollerth, who's a former Healing Place board member, as well as my rector. We have Rabbi Gallup, who's the associate rabbi from Congregation Beth Hava, which is our neighboring congregation, and we have Reverend Barbara Ingram, who's our host today at MAABC. So why don't we start with Wayne, or unless there's somebody that's dying to start with with it, we can start on your end and just a little bit about your congregation's experience with Caritas and what the importance has been over time.
Okay, Cool Spring Baptist Church is located on the north side of town, near 295 and 301. So we're on the north border, probably, of the city of Richmond. Our association with Caritas began in the early 2000s when one of our church members just elected to get more involved in homeless issues, having had a sister who was homeless in another part of the country. And it was part of her heart and her desire to get us more engaged in homelessness. And so we began the partnership with the shelter program for Caritas. And shortly after that, back when the furniture program was part of another organization before it merged, we began doing some furniture issues at the same time. As far as our congregation is concerned, we've been associated or affiliated with the shelter program by hosting men, women, but we've also done families, and now we're back to men, women, depending on what the need is. And we've changed our directive at different times, sort of depending on what the need was with Caritas. When they got more involved with the family program, we decided we would start with family ministry and trying to take care of those folks. And then when there became more of a perceived need for odd times in the year when it was hard to find another congregation to do it, so we started taking on Labor Day weekend and the following week. Feeling that we were a little larger church, we felt like we could accept that burden of responsibility, if you will, a little easier than some smaller churches. So we moved away from the family program for a couple different reasons. But we've been very engaged trying to incorporate our children in that week, but also our teens and our adults to try to meet as much of their need as we could. So we've carried on that. Then we also picked up more of the furniture piece and have had multiple pack the pods, pack the trucks, and things like that over time. So we had a concerted effort this year to do more things that had to do with homelessness and hunger. And so we began trying to integrate more ministry, more people into Caritas, but also in MSEF, which is our Mechanicsville Christians Emergency Functions organization, to take care of local community needs that deal with homelessness and hunger. Then we started trying to find more ways to do that even internationally. So we took a real strong effort and push to find out more ways for all of our ministries to get involved in the issue of homelessness and hunger. So we began to educate ourselves a little bit more about the Healing Place and about helping with the Jobs and Works program, and trying to learn about all the aspects of Caritas, not just the 2 that we formerly had been involved with. So we're trying to find ways to get more engaged in those aspects of homelessness and hunger. Our passion or desire is to find sustainable ways to deal with homeless and hunger issues, and not just patchwork pieces, because we feel like we're not getting anywhere if we're not doing it collaboratively with other organizations in the greater Richmond area, and stop doing some things that we have been doing that didn't seem to bring about any resolution to the real problem. So we look for organizations that we're trying to find resolution, and of course Carrot House is one of those organizations. So we've enjoyed that relationship for many years, but we look forward to how we can do it in deeper, more meaningful ways and try to perfect some aspects so we can involve our whole congregation and even our whole community in trying to eradicate the homeless issue. So we thank you for what you're doing and for working with other organizations in Richmond, and we see that more of that is happening as time passes with Homeward, and we're trying to figure out what Homeward means and what Homeward's about and how that fits in, and as well as other organizations in the Richmond area. So maybe that's a briefing help.
I want to go on this Sunday. I should have done ladies first, but I was too late when I said that. You want to jump in there, Barbara, and let us know about
Okay,
ABC?
I'll do that. Our church family was organized in 1993, and from the first year of our existence, we have been involved with Caritas. We were located downtown on 300 West Grace Street, and from 93 until 2000, we served as an intake center, which meant that every day from October to April, persons from Caritas were in our building. And it provided an opportunity for our church family to become involved with the homeless. And there were persons who would greet them every day, make coffee with them, and interact with them. And that was our involvement at that point. In 2001, we relocated to this location. And since we've been here, we're no longer an intake center, but every year we host Caritas, clients of Caritas for a week. This week we are doing that. And it has provided an opportunity for us to be who we say we are, to be the congregation that God has called us to be. We came into existence and we said that we want to be a community where we offer acceptance, help, and hope. And Caritas has been a way for us to do that in a tangible manner. Not only have we been able to do it in a tangible manner with a few people, but it has been an opportunity for the whole church family to be involved with the homeless. Because when Caritas comes each year, every member of the congregation is invited to be a part of the project. And you may say, well, how is that done? Well, our congregation is broken up into kinship connection groups, whereby groups will come together. Every member of the church is a part of a kinship connection group. And so every kinship connection group has responsibility each night during the week for providing hospitality, which includes serving dinners. Not only just serving dinner, but also interacting with the guests as well. And so it has really been helpful for us to have this hands-on project in our congregation. And I believe that it has, not only have we been a blessing to the clients, but they have been a blessing to us as we have been able to share. And also it has given us the opportunity to look at some other ways in which we can be involved with the homeless.
So we at Congregation Beth Ahava, which is located right next to St. James's, right off of VCU's campus, for many years, probably 10 to 15 at least, we've been working with Caritas, is that correct? And we are intake station for women guests, female guests. And I believe we do a 3-month period from December through February, or at least this year, that is the range. And every day of the week, we open the first level of our religious school wing, and the women come in, have a place to warm up and wait until the bus comes to take them to the evening shelter for that night. For us, it's been a really wonderful experience, and actually a really easy experience. Your staff carries a lot of the load. We have a volunteer and one staff member that physically make sure the drinks are set up, the food's out for snacks, and tries to interact with guests. I think as a congregation, we haven't done a good enough job of, people know about it, but it's only a handful of people who are involved because we ask for people to volunteer 1 day a week. So that they're always on a Tuesday or always on a Wednesday for consistency and relationship building. But I think what would be nice is some layers of education and social justice on homelessness and greater Richmond, especially with our religious school and different things, because we raise money and we do all of those things for donations. And then every year we have, it's called Mitzvah Day. Technically mitzvah is a commandment, but one of the commandments is repairing the world and social justice. And so on that day we have a group that comes and does the furniture build with you all. We also as an organization work at Mount Moriah with Richmond Friends of the Homeless. And we serve 2 meals a month there, and there's different ways we try to be involved. And I think we see this opportunity, especially as the clergy of the congregation, that it's really good for our members. We're a very spread out community. Since there's a small Jewish community, it means our congregants come from every aspect of the metropolitan area. And being located downtown, it's really nice for our members to be able to see what's really happening in the community around us. Instead of being afraid of the people who walk by, we have an opportunity to welcome them in. And sometimes we've had guests who come to services or different things, just they're intrigued. They don't know what a synagogue is. And so I think it's been really nice. At times there's been some issues with, and I don't know if it's Caritas guests or just different things, being downtown, related to graffiti or people sleeping in the area or alcoholism or different things. But for us, we see this as such a positive way of interacting with those in need in our area, and helping them to have a safe place to go to. And on just, I think more of a personal note related to that is, I think we'd love to see more steps and really work with, as was said earlier, Homeward. I'm on the board of Home Again, which is another provider. And really, how do we deal with so much to do with mental health and different things that affect homelessness in Richmond and Central Virginia. And I think there's a real opportunity to use the congregations that work with Caritas to really build a movement together to make sustainable change in our community.